Welcome to BioHealth's instructional video for the small intestinal bacterial overgrowth test, or SIBO breath test. BioHealth offers the SIBO 900 test with lactulose and the 901 test with glucose. Inside your test kit, you will find the patient test instructions, the easy sampler device, 10 vacuum-sealed collection tubes and patient information labels, a patient submittal form, 1 lactulose or glucose packet, 2 bubble bags for the glass tubes, and lastly, the laboratory pack and return shipping label. Be sure to have the transport box since it will be needed to package and ship the samples back to the BioHealth lab. Before you start the test, be sure to read the test instructions carefully. This test will take a total of 135 minutes to complete once you start the breath collections. There is a 24-hour preparation period for this test. First, let's review the dietary restrictions for the first 12 hours the day before you collect your breath samples. The food items that you must avoid during the first 12-hour dietary restriction period are all sugars of any kind, fruits and fruit juices, vegetables, nuts and seeds, grain products, but plain steamed white rice is permitted, dairy products, alcoholic beverages, beans, herbs and spices. The allowed food items during the first 12-hour dietary restriction period are listed next. Only consume these items in order to ensure accurate results for your SIBO test. Baked and broiled seafood, chicken, turkey, and lean beef, crisp bacon and lean pork, eggs, oils and fats, clear chicken or beef broth, plain steamed white rice, and plain black coffee. You are only allowed to drink plain tea, as you should not drink any green or herbal tea. Once the first 12-hour dietary restriction period is completed, the second 12 hours will require a complete fast. Brushing your teeth and drinking water is allowed during this 12-hour period. Also, the time you spend sleeping during this period will count towards the 12-hour fasting period. Now that you are familiar with the 24-hour preparatory dietary and fasting periods for the test, let's review the test restrictions. You must discontinue the use of any probiotics for 4 to 5 days prior to taking this test. Discontinue the use of any antibiotics for 4 weeks prior to taking this test, but only if approved by your primary physician. Discontinue laxatives, including high-dose vitamin C, greater than 2,000 milligrams per day, or magnesium, greater than 1,000 milligrams per day, for 7 days prior to taking this test. Avoid enemas for 7 days and avoid colonics for 2 weeks prior to taking this test. For 1 hour prior to taking the test and during the breath collections, do not smoke, sleep, or exercise. You are only allowed to drink water during the 12-hour fasting period and during the breath collections. Consult with your physician if you are on a specialty diet or taking any medication you feel may conflict with this test. Now, let's review the sample collection steps. It is recommended that you practice breathing into the Easy Sampler device before you begin the first collection. The small hole in the bag is intentional. It is there to allow your breath to flow through the bag and helps with the collection process into the glass tube. You should practice exhaling normally into the device without inserting the tube for at least 5 seconds straight. This is important because when you are ready to collect, the glass tube will have to be inserted into the collection device at the middle of your exhalation, approximately 2 seconds after you start exhaling. When you are ready to start the breath test, the first thing we'll do is mix the lactulose solution with 8 to 10 ounces of water. Set this solution aside and do not drink it. If you are performing the glucose test, then you must add the glucose contents into 10 ounces of water. Then use the mixing chart to determine the correct amount of solution to remove based on your weight. It is very important that you add the same amount of water to the solution that was removed in the previous step. Set the solution aside and do not drink it. Remember, the baseline breath sample must be collected before drinking the solution. This test will take 135 minutes to complete, as you will be collecting a sample every 15 minutes. The 15-minute interval begins after you complete the collection of your baseline sample and construction of the sugar solution. Now that the sugar solution is prepared and set to the side, let's review the collection steps needed for a successful test. First, collect the baseline sample. Remember, this is before you drink the sugar solution. To collect the baseline sample, hold the Easy Sampler device in one hand and a collection tube in the other. Do not remove the rubber stopper that is on the needle. Inhale, then place your mouth around the mouthpiece and start to exhale. At 2 seconds, or mid-exhale, you will insert the glass collection tube into the Easy Sampler device chamber. In your mind, count 1 1,000, 2 1,000, Before inserting the tube, fully insert the glass collection tube into the Easy Sampler device chamber. The needle in the tube holder will puncture the seal on top of the glass tube. Your breath will now start entering into the glass tube. Continue to hold the glass tube in the device for 2 more seconds and then remove it before you finish your exhale. The bag should remain fully inflated from the initial breath and through the end of the breath collection. Do not interfere with the hole in the bag. It is intentional. Total collection time from start to finish is about 4 to 5 seconds. Please fill in the patient information label and place it on the tube. It is very important that each tube is accurately and clearly labeled with sample number, date, and time. Congratulations! You have now successfully collected the baseline sample. You may now drink the sugar solution and wait for the next collection time point. You must wait for 15 minutes before you collect your next sample. Please use the sample chart as a guide to help with the sample collection times. Remember to use the same breath collection technique for the remaining 9 glass tubes that we just described in the baseline sample collection procedure. After you have completed all breath collections and labeled the tubes, it is time to prepare for shipment. Place the tubes into the bubble bags and seal them. Place the completed patient submittal form and the bubble bags into the specimen transport box. Close the box and place it into the laboratory pack. Seal the pack and place the return shipping label on the outside of the pack. Ship your specimens as soon as possible. Refer to your instruction document for more details on how and when to ship. We hope this video was useful and provided a better understanding on how to properly collect your breath samples. If you have any questions, feel free to call us at 800-570-2000 or 307-212-6600 Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Or you may visit our website at biohealthlab.com for more information.